This class has changed the way I think about biblical interpretations. Head and shoulders above all other books, the Bible has sold the most copies around the world, with 3.9 billion copies floating around. From all corners of the globe, people read and learn from the New Testament. Some take the Bible stories literally, others look deeper into the messages behind the text, and the most radical are the biblical scholars, nuns, and priests who dedicate their entire lives to the teachings of Jesus. Because it is so widely recognized, it is important to dig deeper into its themes, stories, and culture. This year, I have done just that, and I've learned some pretty interesting pieces of information about how the Bible is interpreted. The New Testament provides several examples of how the Jews were oppressed by groups of people. Although we like to believe we're better to one another than people were thousands of years ago, that's not necessarily true. African countries still suffer horrible oppression by governments and military leaders. The people suffering the brunt of suppression, like those in Africa, are a group that can find strength in the New Testament ideals of a freed people. Another important and famous passage states that the last in this world will be the first at the table of God. Such writing will be taken to heart by the poor and oppressed of this world, but the rich might not think this passage is as important as others. Translations and interpretations taken by suppressed African culture will be read differently than blessed students that live in America and get the opportunity to attend Gonzaga University like ourselves. Dealing with American culture and history, a prime example of people interpreting the Bible with a different twist is the women's rights movement. This movement, which is still obviously present in feminist ideals, looks deeper into passages that involve women of Jesus' times. Classes that link the Bible and female equality exist in many universities, including our own. Such classes would view a passage that depicts a woman serving Jesus and his followers, the Virgin Mary, and widows of the time differently than myself. I'm glad that I have had the opportunity to look further into interpretations of the Bible that differ from my own. It has helped me to better understand viewpoints of others.